Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So I am Rage. I'm going to teach you English ninth class lessons, and one of them I'm going to start now is the lesson, fifth lesson of Beehive, that is the snake and the mirror. Okay, so I'm going to teach you two lessons in this video, that are the snake and the mirror, and the one more thing, I'm going to teach you poems too, and I'm going to teach you one more lesson, sixth lesson, my childhood, and it'll be in another video, but I'm going to teach you snake and the mirror in this lesson. Okay guys, let's start. So we probably know about snakes, so you can tell various types of snakes: anaconda, python, cobra. You can name many. So what happens in this lesson is that the author has a meet with a snake, and let us know about this adventure story written by Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. So this story was actually written in Malayalam, but it was translated to English by Abdullah. Okay, now let's go into the lesson. So basically guys, one day some few group of friends were talking about snakes, and a doctor, especially a homeopath, he said a interesting story of his encounter with some snake. So let us know this. So he says that he lived in a house, a room which was rented, and it did not have much furniture accessories. So in the first part he says that when he goes to room, he hears a noise, and he says it was a familiar one. So obviously you may think it's already the snake, but he thought it as there he shared room with rats. They were roaming upon the attic, so he thought like that. So he thought the sound was made by rats. Okay, now after some time he lit the kerosene lamp on the table, and also he checked the lamps and other things on the table. Now by something he was attracted, like he was attracted by a mirror. He says that a person who is near a mirror is having a urge to look at it. So he just casually takes a look at it, and he admires his own beauty. Now that means he is admiring his own beauty in the way that he makes two decisions. Okay, he makes two decisions. Let us know what are they. But before that, let's know one more things. He heard rat sounds from to and on the way. He heard those rat sounds, and he also had some accessories which you can read in your textbook. Like he had some black suitcase with 60 rupees in it. He also had one not so white vest, that means like a shirt. Now he's looking into the mirror, and he sat down. So what he's thinking is that he wants to admire his beauty. Now while seeing in the mirror, he makes two decisions. One is to shave regularly, and the second one is to keep a smile always on his face. Now he thinks of it because he's unmarried, that means he's a bachelor, and especially to top it off, he's a doctor. So he thinks he has to look handsome and to be noticed. Now let's know some more things about him. He was looking and admiring his beauty when suddenly he heard that noises had stopped. That means he didn't hear those noises anymore. Now when he turned back, why he turned back? Because he heard a sound of something like rubber fell down, and when he turned around, he saw a cobra, I mean a full-blooded cobra, upon his shoulder. He didn't move, he didn't cry, he didn't shout. He just held his breath, and he sat down. He was like a stone image in flesh, and he was no more than a statue in granite. He thought so. He thought of making that snake. He thought of escaping some way, but he didn't understand how. He was still alive, but he was so calm. The snake had slowly coiled itself around his left arm, and he thought it was like a molten rod, a lead rod. Molten fire rod had was strongly but slowly crushing him. He felt so much pain in his left arm. He thought to write, "Oh God," in a paper, but he didn't. With loss of hope, he smiled feebly at himself. Maybe God noticed that, because the snake took a look at the mirror, which was 4 inches away from his face, 2 or 3 so. The snake went to the mirror and it looked and admired its beauty. What a wonder! He didn't. What gender could it be? A male or a female? Was it trying to wear mascara or have a vermilion spot on its head? He didn't knew. Anyway, it looks like God appreciated that, so he was no more a stone image. He was now a man of blood and flesh. He suddenly stood up, he got up, and he went. He stood up slowly and went to the door. He suddenly leapt into the grey garden and ran outside. Wow, what a rescue, right? So the friends asked him, yeah, forgot to mention one more thing. He wanted to marry a wife who was fat. She should be a doctor, and she should have a lot of money. The reason why she has to be fat is because when the author does a silly mistake, his wife should not chase him. That means when he done a mistake, he's running, but his wife shouldn't be able to catch him. That was his plan. Now one of his friends asked, "Doctor, at the end, who did you marry?" Then he said he had a life companion with a gift of a sprinter. That means his wife is very fast and she has a gifted running spirit. Now, he also says that she is a thin and greedy person. Okay? Now one more friend asks, what happened? Did the snake chase you? So what did he say is, he went outside, he ran, and the next morning he came with a group of people, 2 or 3, and he wanted to move his things from there. But he did not have so much luck because most of the things were stolen by a thief. But the author wanted to scold the thief, or maybe even praise, because the thief had such a cleanliness state that he left that dirty vest like there. He did not take that vest. He left that. He left that there. The author wanted to shout on him. What could he do? And now one more friend asked, "Doctor, so did you ever meet the snake again?" Then he said, "No. It's a snake which has been taken to its own beauty," the doctor said. Okay guys, now I'm going to teach you the textbook questions later. Now this was just the mere explanation. You may read it once more when you have your textbook, or if you want, I'm going to upload a full video of every point to point. Let's do that later since I am kind of busy. Okay, now bye guys. That's the snake and mirror. Answer the question and answer your